Hello dear students. So in today's video we are going to discuss the topic of motion of charged particle in magnetic field, uniform magnetic field. Okay. So we have seen the expression for magnetic Lorentz force, magnetic Lorentz force. Now this is the force experienced by charged particle in magnetic field. If a charged particle of charge q, mass m, it is moving in a magnetic field B, then the force experienced by the charged particle is called magnetic Lorentz force, and it is given by the expression F is equal to Q V cross B. Okay, so these things we have discussed in the previous videos. So under the influence of this force, what kind of motion a charged particle will have? Now see, if I observe the magnitude of this force, it will be QVB sine theta, where this theta is the angle between V and B. Okay, so if theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degree, that is, if suppose the magnetic field it is in this direction, and charged particle is moving with velocity v in the same direction. So v and b, they are in the same direction. So in this case theta is equal to 0 degree. Okay, and suppose this is magnetic field and this is the direction of the velocity vector of the charged particle. That means charged particle is moving in this direction, opposite to direction of magnetic field. So here theta is equal to 180 degree. So for sine 0, this value becomes 0. So the force in this case, it will be equal to 0. Here also, when theta is equal to 180 degree, sine 180 degree is 0. So again force becomes 0. So for both these cases, the charged particle is not going to experience any force. So if the charged particle is not going to experience any force, so that means velocity is going to remain constant. If force is 0, velocity will be constant. This velocity cannot change. Velocity can change only under the influence of force, that is Newton's second law of motion. So if velocity is constant, that means magnitude of velocity is not changing, direction of velocity is also not changing. So that means in that case, charged particle will move in a straight path. Charged particle moves in straight line. Okay, so for this case, when theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degree, that is the charged particle is moving parallel to the direction of magnetic field or anti-parallel to direction of magnetic field, the charged particle will move in a straight line. So now let's see what happens when this theta is 90 degree. Okay, we have seen the case when theta is 0 degree or 180 degree, but what happens when theta is 90 degree? Now mathematically it shows that when theta is 90 degree, this force will have a maximum value, maximum magnitude, and it will be equal to QVB. Okay, so force is QVB now for theta is equal to 90 degree. So that means when charged particle is moving perpendicular to direction of magnetic field, this is the magnitude of the force. Okay, till that point means we have understood. But what kind of motion this charged particle is going to have? See, force is perpendicular to the direction of velocity. This we have already seen. Why it is perpendicular to direction of velocity? Because we have defined this expression for magnetic Lorentz force as Q V cross B. F is equal to Q V cross B. So force will be perpendicular to the plane containing V and B. Magnetic Lorentz force will be perpendicular to the plane containing V and B. So force is perpendicular to velocity. Now since force is perpendicular to velocity, it implies force is perpendicular to displacement, because velocity and displacement, they will be in the same direction. So since force is perpendicular to displacement, work done by this force is 0. Work done by this force is 0. Now, since work done by this force is 0, see, work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. So half mv square minus half mu square. This is final kinetic energy, this is initial kinetic energy. So since work done is 0, kinetic energy is not going to change. So if kinetic energy is not changing, so that means V is equal to U. So that means V is constant. What is V? V is in the expression for kinetic energy half mv square. V is not velocity, V is speed. So that means speed is constant. So that means charge particle moving under the influence of magnetic Lorentz force, it will move with constant speed. Okay, it will move with constant speed. Okay, constant speed. Okay, now we have understood this concept that if theta is equal to 90 degree, this is the magnitude of the force, this is the magnitude of the force, and the charge particle will move with constant speed. Okay, but then see, we have seen here that force is not equal to 0. Here force is not 0. For theta equal to 90 degree, force is not 0. Force is QVB. So if now we also know that F is equal to ma. F is equal to ma. This is Newton's second law. So since force is not equal to 0, if we apply this condition over here, we get acceleration not equal to 0. Acceleration not equal to 0. Okay. Now if acceleration is not equal to 0, that means velocity is changing. Velocity is changing. Velocity is changing, but speed is constant. How is that possible? That is possible only when direction of velocity is changing. Correct? Magnitude of velocity is speed. Magnitude of velocity is not changing, but direction of velocity is changing. So this implies, not this implies, actually combining these two results, we can conclude that direction of velocity is changing continuously. Okay, now see, think of a kind of motion where work done by the force is 0, speed is not changing, but direction of velocity is changing continuously. Have we read such kind of things in class 11? That was uniform circular motion. In uniform circular motion, when a particle moves in uniform circular motion, so this is speed v. So speed at each and every instant, it is not going to change. So magnitude of velocity, it is not going to change, but direction of velocity, it is changing at each and every instant. And work done by centripetal force, this force Fc, it is radial force, it is perpendicular to velocity, it is perpendicular to displacement. So work done by this force, it is equal to 0. So this we have read in class 11, that in uniform circular motion, speed is constant, velocity it has to change, that is why it is moving in a circular path, and work done by this radial force, it is 0. So this concept is going to be applied here, because here also we are getting same kind of result. So let us see the kind of motion this charge particle is going to have. Okay, so suppose in this region you have a uniform magnetic field. B is the strength of the field. Okay, and cross means field is directed inwards. Cross means field is perpendicular to the plane of the board and directed inward. Okay, if it is a dot, it is perpendicular to the plane of the board but directed outward. So if this is the charge particle, suppose this is charge q, mass m, but it is moving in this direction with velocity v. So v is in the plane of the board, it is in this direction. So suppose this is the direction of velocity and this is the direction of magnetic field. Okay, so we are saying that it is going to move in a circular path. So what kind of motion, whether it is going to move upwards or downward, it is a positive charge. So we are going to apply Fleming's left hand rule. So Fleming's left hand rule, this is direction of magnetic field, this is direction of motion of charge, positive charge. This is direction of motion of positive charge, this is direction of magnetic field, and this is the direction of the force. So this is positive charge, it is moving in this direction. So this is the direction of the velocity. This is the direction of the magnetic field. So force, it is in the upward direction. So this charge particle is going to experience a force in the upward direction. and it is going to move like this. Okay, so here the velocity is in the upward direction, and this is the radius. This is the radius. Okay, so it is moving in a circular path. So if here also you have magnetic field, so if here also you have magnetic field, it will complete a circle. It will complete a circle like this. Okay. So this is how the charged particle is going to move in this uniform magnetic field. So it is acted upon by a radial force, centripetal force Fc, that is equal to mv square by r. Okay. And it is also acted upon by this force, magnetic force, that is QVB, this theta being 90 degree. So who is providing the radial force, centripetal force? That is provided by the magnetic Lorentz force, correct? Because magnetic Lorentz force, see, it is acting in this direction. Here it was acting in this direction. Here it will act in this direction. So this force, magnetic Lorentz force, will provide the necessary radial force which is required for circular motion. Magnetic Lorentz force will provide the radial force necessary for circular motion. Okay, so QVB, it is equal to mv square by r. Okay, so this v and this v gets cancelled. So we have r equal to mv by qb. Okay, so this is the expression for the radius. This is the expression for this radius. Okay, expression for radius. Now next, let us calculate the expression for time period. Time period. What is time period? Time period is the time taken to complete one revolution. Time taken to complete one revolution. So that is t is equal to, what is the distance travelled in one complete revolution? R is the radius. Distance travelled will be twice by r. What is the speed? Speed is v. So twice by r by v. Now from this we have r by v, it is equal to m by qb. R by v is equal to m by qb. So if I substitute over here, what do I get? I get t is equal to twice by m by qb. T equal to twice by m by qb. So that means time period depends on mass, charge and strength of magnetic field, and time period is independent of r and v. T independent of r and v. T independent of r and v. Okay, this is one important result, T independent of r and v. Why it is independent result? Because suppose you have charged particle moving in a circle of radius r1, charge q, mass m, magnetic field is b. Okay, and another particle, same particle, actually same type of particle, it is moving in radius r2, same particle q, m, magnetic field is everywhere b. Everywhere magnetic field is b. So that means you have identical charged particle moving in identical field. Okay, and they are moving in this plane of the board, coplanar motion. Now this particle is moving of circle of radius r1, another particle is moving in a circle of radius r2. Now since time period is independent of r and v, time period depends only on m and qb, mass, charge, magnetic field. Mass, charge and magnetic field for both are same. So that means time period it has to be same. So that means charged particle which is moving in this circle, suppose the charged particle which is moving in the circle of radius r1, it is completing the circle in 2 seconds. So the charged particle which is moving in this radius of r2, r2 is greater than r1. For it also time period should be 2 seconds. Here the time period is 2 seconds. For this also time period is 2 seconds. So that means charged particle which is moving in the outer circle, it will move with greater speed. Okay, smaller circles, less speed. If the radius is more, speed will be more. Then only the time period will be same. Okay, so that is the inference that we can draw from this derivation. Okay, in addition to the derivation, you need to understand the meaning of this expression. Okay, so time period is dependent on mass, charge and magnetic field, and it is independent of radius and speed. Okay, this independent factor, that is more important, because this thing is dependence is quite obvious. Okay, now this is about time period. Now from the expression for time period, we can very easily calculate the expression for frequency and angular frequency. Frequency is 1 by time period. Okay, so this is equal to QB by twice by m. Okay, this is frequency. This is frequency. How about angular frequency? Angular frequency, omega, it is equal to twice pi by t, so that is equal to QB by m. Okay, so see, as t is independent of r and v, so is frequency and angular frequency. So whether it is time period, whether it is frequency, whether it is angular frequency, all these terms depends only on Q, B and M, charge, mass, strength of magnetic field, and is independent of R and V. Independent of R and V. Okay. Acha. Now this is about the expression for time period. Radius also we have seen. See, radius, expression for radius was mv by qb. This mv is momentum, so this is p by qb. This also you can write. Now momentum, it is related to kinetic energy by the relation twice m ek. So I can write this radius as twice m. M is mass, ek is kinetic energy. Square root of twice m ek by qb. Okay. Now if a charged particle is accelerated by applying a potential V and it enters the magnetic field, so in that case kinetic energy ek will be equal to q times V. This V is the potential. Okay. So charge q is accelerated by applying potential V, big V. So this V is potential. So I can replace this ek with this V. So this is twice m q V by qb. Okay. So these are the various expressions for radius. This is how you can express radius in various forms. Okay. So all these forms are important for solving questions. Okay. Acha. Now from this expression I can find the expression for kinetic energy. So expression for kinetic energy will be ek will be q square b square r square, q square b square r square divided by twice m. So this is expression for kinetic energy of the charged particle, q square b square r square by twice m. Okay, ek is the kinetic energy. So now based on the discussion we had, let us try to solve this question. Proton, deuteron and alpha particle are projected in uniform transverse magnetic field. Okay, find the ratio of radii. If v is same, this v is speed is same, if momentum is same, and if kinetic energy is same. These are three different conditions. Okay, so for three different conditions we have to find the ratio of radii. Okay, you may pause this video and you can also try the question on your own. Okay, and then verify with my solution. So to solve this question, the fundamental thing we need to know about this proton, deuteron and alpha particle is their charge and mass ratio. So for proton, if it is q and m, if q is the charge, m is the mass, q is the charge, m is the mass. For deuteron it is q charge, mass will be twice m. For alpha particle it is twice q and 4m. Okay, so this is the fundamental concept to solve this question. Okay, so first is v is same, ratio of radius. So radius is m v by qb. Okay, so v is same means this is constant, this is constant. Magnetic field is already constant, same magnetic field, transverse magnetic field. So that means radius is going to depend on mass and charge. Okay, so rp is to rd is to r alpha. It will be equal to this mp by qp, that is mass to charge ratio of proton, is to mass of deuteron by charge of deuteron is to mass of alpha particle, charge of alpha particle. Okay, this is from this information. Okay, now comparing these values from this, we have this is m by q is to, and this is twice m by q is to 4m by twice q. Okay, now this thing can be cancelled, so I can write this as Rp is to Rd is to R alpha is equal to, so this is 1 to 1 is to 2 is to 2. So this is the final result. Ratio of the radii will be 1 is to 2 is to 2. Okay, so this is the case when speed is same. Okay, now what happens when the momentum is same? See, when momentum is same, so that means this is R equal to mv by qb. This becomes now p by qb. This is momentum. So now momentum is same means this is constant for all the particles. This magnetic field is already constant because they are moving in the same magnetic field. So that means radius, it is going to be inversely proportional to the charge. Radius inversely proportional to the charge. So radius inversely proportional to charge means only charge terms will come. So Rp is to Rd is to R alpha. It will be equal to 1 by Q is to 1 by Q is to 1 by 2Q. Isn't it? So that will be equal to 2 is to 2 is to 1. Okay. So this will be the ratio of the radii, 2 is to 2 is to 1. So this is when momentum is same. What happens when kinetic energy is same? So what is the expression for kinetic energy? R radius in terms of kinetic energy is twice m ek, square root of twice m ek divided by qb. Okay. So kinetic energy is same means this term is constant. Magnetic field is constant. Okay. So we have R proportional to square root of m by q. Square root of m by q. R proportional to square root of m by q. Other terms are constant. R proton is to R deuteron is to R alpha. It is equal to root m by q is to twice m by q is to 4m by 2q. Okay. So this is 4 means 2, so this also gets cancelled. So this is this term and this term are same. So this is 1 is to root 2 is to 1. So this is the required ratio. This 1 is to root 2 is to 1. This is when kinetic energy is same. Next is helical motion of charged particle. Okay. See, we have seen that when theta is equal to 0 degree or 180 degree, the motion of the charged particle is straight line. Straight line. Okay. Now when theta is equal to 90 degree, angle between velocity and magnetic field is 90 degree, then we have circular motion. Circular motion. So if the angle is not equal to 0 degree, not equal to 180 degree and not equal to 90 degree. Okay. The angle is different from all these three angles, then the charged particle is going to have a helical motion. Okay. So why we are getting helical motion? What is the reason? Okay. Let us analyze this. So suppose this is the direction of uniform magnetic field. Okay. Magnetic field is in this direction. Play the board in this direction. Okay. From this side to this side. And it is uniform. And suppose you have a charged particle, charge q, mass m. It is projected with velocity v. So theta is the angle between v and b. So here, as you can see, theta is not 0 degree. It is not 180 degree. It is neither 90 degree. Okay. It is some other angle, any arbitrary angle. So now I can resolve this velocity as one component in the direction of magnetic field. So this is v parallel. V parallel means this component of velocity is parallel to magnetic field, and it is equal to v cos theta. Okay, and this is v perpendicular. V perpendicular means it is perpendicular to magnetic field. Magnetic field is in this direction, velocity is in this direction, and v perpendicular is equal to v sin theta. Okay, now we know that if velocity is parallel to magnetic field, force is 0. So if force is 0, the charge particle will move with constant velocity in this direction. So constant velocity in this direction means this will give linear motion. Linear motion. So the charge particle which is projected in this direction, it will have a constant velocity in this direction. It is projected in this direction, but it will have a constant velocity in this direction, v cos theta. Okay. Now this velocity, it is perpendicular to the velocity. Now this velocity, it is perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. So this is going to cause circular motion. Circular motion. Okay. So this velocity is causing circular motion. This velocity is causing linear motion. So because of this, the charge particle will move like this. Because of this, the charge particle will also move in the forward direction. So because of the combined influence of these two velocities, the charge particle will move in a helical path. It will move in a circle also, and it will also move in the forward direction. So it will move in a helical path. Okay, and this is the radius of the helix. And this distance between two consecutive turns, this distance, it is called pitch. P-I-T-C-H, pitch, distance between two consecutive turns. This pitch you have already also seen in screw gauge in first year, calculating pitch of screw gauge, where when you give one rotation to the screw gauge, the tip of the screw moves through 1 millimeter, so pitch was 1 millimeter. So similarly here also we can calculate the pitch, that is the perpendicular distance between two consecutive turns. Okay. Achha. Now this is the kind of motion the charge particle will have if this theta is neither it is 0 nor 180 degree nor 90 degree. Okay, it is some arbitrary angle. Okay. Achha. Now what about the radius? Expression for radius, this radius. Now when it is moving in circular path, it is moving with this speed. So expression for radius is like you have to find the relation between the radial force and the magnetic force. Both the force balances each other because this magnetic force is going to provide the centripetal force. Okay, so this is QVB sin theta. QVB sin theta. This is M V sin theta squared by R. MV squared by R. So this square term gets cancelled. Okay, so we have R equal to MV sin theta divided by QB. Okay, MV sin theta by QB. So earlier we had MV by QB, but that V is replaced by V sin theta. So I can write this as also as is equal to MV perpendicular by QB, where V perpendicular is the component of velocity perpendicular to the magnetic field. This is V perpendicular. Okay, so this is the expression for radius. Okay, how about the expression for time period? Now time period T is equal to twice pi R by V sin theta. Now it will be twice pi R by V sin theta because it is moving in circular path with this speed, linear path with this speed. Okay, circular path is with this speed, so T is equal to twice pi R by V sin theta. So from here R by V sin theta, it is equal to M by QB. So if I substitute over here, I get T is equal to twice pi M by QB. So expression for time period remains same as before. T is equal to twice pi M by QB. Time period again depends on M, Q and B, and it is independent of R and V. Okay. Achha. Now how about the expression for this pitch? This distance, that is a distance traveled in one rotation. So one rotation means in one complete rotation the charge particle starts from here and it reaches here. So that means time taken to travel from this point to this point is the time period T. And this displacement, why the charge particle has moved from this point to this point? That is because of this velocity. So that means velocity in this direction is v cos theta. Velocity in this direction is v cos theta. Time taken is this T. So distance pitch this distance will be equal to t times v cos theta, which is the horizontal distance traveled by the charged particle in one complete rotation. So that distance is equal to t into speed into time. So this t is this quantity. So pitch, it is equal to twice pi m by qb times v cos theta. So this is the expression for pitch, okay, for helical motion. Okay, so this is all about helical motion of the charged particle in uniform magnetic field.